have the right and the duty as U.S. citizens to ensure that this corruption doesn't happen. Our founding fathers handed us freedom. They created a government, they wrote the Constitution that restricted this government, and then they invested their faith in the people to uphold this Constitution. They gave us basic freedoms, basic rights, so that we can restrict the government. They don't trust the government to have self-control when they have so much power and money. We have the freedom to speak out against the government, freedom to petition the government, freedom to assemble, and even the right to vote them out when we feel like they're not representing us the way we want them to. For years we have been silent, and we have sat back and watched with apathetic mindsets while our government put their hands on our economy and stole our freedoms from us one by one. As you look around today, you can see the consequences of our apathy and silence. This is the time to speak. This is time to be heard and for our consequences of our positive actions to be seen. We need to treat the government like children, because as selfish and irresponsible as they are, they might as well be children. So what do you do when children misbehave? You punish them. We have not punished the government. We have let them get away with all their wrongdoings. We've dismissed all of them because of a belief that we all grew up with. Since birth, we believe that our country was the best country in the world. We have freedom, capitalism, and a well-written, upheld constitution. We're a republic among tyrannies. We've always been different than the rest of the world. There's no way that our government could reach over their boundaries and become tyrants. I'm afraid that's not true anymore. Just because we're not as radical as some countries doesn't mean that our government can't find their own ways of becoming tyrants. I applaud all of you for being here today. There's still people that didn't come because they just didn't feel like it, or they ditched us for DJ on, or they don't care. They don't see the necessity in coming. I bet they'll care when they wake up one day and they realize that all their hard-earned money is being taken from them by more and more taxes and being spent by irresponsible politicians without seeing any good consequences. I haven't seen any economic stimulation. We can't spend our way to a good economy. I bet they'll care when they wake up one day and they find that they no longer have a voice. They have no more freedoms because they didn't use them when they had them. But I don't want it to get to this. I don't want it to be too late. We've been asleep for way too long, but luckily many of us have woken up in time. We still have freedom of speech, freedom to assemble, freedom to petition, even the right to vote. We need to utilize all these and take the Constitution as our weapon to educate the people and take back our government, our society, and our country. Rallying is just the first step. You need to educate yourself and then educate others. The more time you spend thinking that you just don't feel like speaking, you don't feel like acting, the closer you gain to not being able to do any of this. I know it's hard. Every day you hear of a new way that the government has gone against our Constitution. It seems like all your hard work is worth nothing, but let me tell you this. Movements don't happen overnight, but they have to start somewhere. If you don't do anything, you'll never be able to do anything. 500 or so people have been so destructive with our country. I can only imagine what wonders millions of enlightened people do. Corruption is just a mindset. It's not enough just to throw out the entire government and replace them with more liberty-minded people if the populace does not care and does not see the need to uphold the Constitution. First, you have to care, but what's more important is what you do. We can't be mute, but we can't be paralyzed. In the words of Thomas Jefferson, enlighten the people generally, and all tyranny and oppression will fade like the dawn.